Hello, dear students. Welcome to I-Fal. My name is Teacher Nikki and I am here to have another video lesson with you. So our aim for these video lessons is to help you gain better understanding of the different grammar rules in English. So please pay attention to all our lessons. So for today, we will be talking about a new grammar topic, and that is about the conditional sentences. So this lesson will be divided into 5 videos, so please watch them all. Now, let's begin and understand the basics of the conditional sentences. Now, for us to better understand what conditional sentences are, let's first give the definition. So a conditional sentence is a type of sentence that expresses a hypothetical or imaginary or a speculative situation and its potential outcome or consequence. So it means that we use conditional sentences when we want to have a condition and its possible or sure outcome. Now we have to understand that our conditional sentences have 2 parts. We have the if clause and our result clause. Now, what is the if clause? The if clause introduces the condition or the circumstance that must be satisfied for the result to occur. In short, this is where you put your condition, so your sentence that expresses the condition. Now, the result clause describes the outcome that will happen if the condition is fulfilled. So you put the result on the result clause. Now, we have to remember that our conditional sentences can be expressed in different forms and tenses depending on the intention of your sentences. So please take note of that and master more on how we express different tenses. Now, moving forward, so this is an example of a conditional sentence. So let's take a look at how it is formed or structured. So if it rains, we will stay indoors. So as you can see, we have your if clause, if it rains. And we also have your main clause or your result clause, which is we will stay indoors. So your if it rains sets up the condition. So this should be fulfilled before your result clause happens. Okay? Now, your conditional sentences are used to talk about possibilities, consequences, imaginary actions or situations, and cause and effect relationship. We can actually categorize our conditional sentences into different types. We have the zero conditional, the first conditional, the second, third, and the mixed conditional. So we actually have 5 conditional sentences. So let's begin talking about these different conditional sentences. But for this time, we will start with the zero conditional. So what is zero conditional? The zero conditional is a type of conditional sentence that expresses general truth, facts, or cause and effect relationships that are always true or predictable. So always remember, if you are going to give a conditional sentence that talks about truth, facts, and predictable outcomes, then we use the zero conditional. So now, let's take a look at the structure or the sentence pattern of zero conditional. So as you can see, we just have if, simple present, simple present. One more time. If, simple present, simple present. Okay? So let's look at a few examples we have here for the zero conditional. So always remember, the zero conditional talks about general truth, scientific facts, habits, or predictable outcomes. So if you can see here, if you hit ice, it melts. So this sentence states a general truth. What does it mean? So if you heat ice, it always melts, okay? So your condition here is if ice is heated. Then the predictable, not predictable, it's always the result. It always melts, okay? Another example. If it rains, the ground gets wet. So this is a cause and effect relationship that occurs whenever it rains. So it means this is an expected result or outcome. Of course, if it rains, then automatically the ground gets wet, okay? So it is also important to take note that we also use the zero conditional when we give instructions or provide general advice. So if you take a look at our example sentence here, if you have any questions, ask the teacher. So this is a kind of advice. Now, if you take a look at this one, look at the structure of this sentence. On your if clause, we have a simple present. And then in your main clause, we have what we call your imperative sentence. An imperative sentence always starts with a verb, okay? So overall, the zero conditional is a very useful sentence. Remember that we use it to talk about general truth, facts, or cause and effect that have or that has expected or predictable outcome. So we also use the zero conditional to give instructions or provide general advice. So all of these are just the common usages of our zero conditional. So let me provide you more example of sentences so you can practice and take note of how the zero conditional is being used. So example sentences here are, if you eat too much, you feel sick. If water boils, it turns into steam. If you mix red and yellow, you get orange. So more examples. If it snows, the ground becomes white. If you touch the fire, you get burnt. If you squeeze an orange, juice comes out. If you don't water plants, they die. If you drop a glass, it breaks. Okay? Now, it's your turn to create your own sentences. So please take note of the meaning, the usages, and the sentence construction. All right? So always pay attention on how we create our zero conditional. So always remember that the zero conditional is used to talk about general truth, predictable outcomes, and scientific facts, or even habits. Now, we also have the sentence pattern that we have to consider. So, for you to get to know more about this lesson, I encourage you to please enroll to our classes and please find a very good teacher that would explain to you about this topic. So please subscribe with our classes and visit our website, which I will flash on the screen next slide. Okay? So once again, this is Teacher Nikki, and please wait for the next part of this topic. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye.